You know, every now and again we like to give you something challenging to think about on this programme. Of course we do. So we've got the giggles already. But seriously, there's times out there where you really need to get the old grey matter going. And there's often things that prompt in my mind. You see something and you think, ah, yes, I remember that. And it got me thinking really about how we're such a lovely, warm, animal-loving sort of community here on here. All thanks to, of course, those wonderful pictures that people have recently sent me of their pets, dogs, cats, fish, you name it. And it's nice, isn't it? Because pets do become part of your family. And also, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but when you watch something week after week, particularly something that has a pet in it, well, of course, then you become quite attached to that. Or am I just daft? Don't answer that. Now, as you know, I've been lucky enough, as I say, to interview some of the greats, and Mickey Rooney, of course, worked with the brilliant Lassie, and I thought Lassie was wonderful when I was a kid, didn't you? Just loved all the adventures and the fact he could virtually have a conversation just by barking his way through things, No two ways about it. Who remembers Skippy the bush kangaroo? Tutting away every 2 minutes, but of course he kind of was telling you about some imminent danger. I was lucky enough to interview Lisa Goddard, who starred in Skippy all those years ago now. And when you think about it, I'm not sure if children would be as enthralled as you and I were when we watched it way back then. So it got me thinking, who was your favourite TV pet? The person that you I'm thinking straight off, Freeway. Remember Freeway from Heart to Heart with the gorgeous Stephanie Powers and the debonair Robert Wagner? Remember that? And of course there are other things. Everybody who watches this channel knows I'm a huge fan of ScoobyDoo. Loved ScoobyDoo, the original though, yes, oh no, not the new modern one. The original ScoobyDoo was brilliant. Not too keen on Scrappy-Doo, has to be said, he wasn't particularly my favourite, but there were so many other animals where they're not, attached to TV shows that really became something of an integral part. And I think it's the typical R factor of television. So I throw this out to you, our chums in our community. Who did you like watching? And were you like me, always looking out for the pet or the animal or whatever? I remember, it sounds a bit weird saying this, but Sabrina, the teenage witch, she had a talking black cat. And I was fascinated as to how they got the cat slips to move, particularly in that lack of computer generated time. It was always fascinating. But who was yours? Rin Tin Tin, maybe? Who was the pet that, somebody was always attached to? It could, of course, have been Tonto and, of course, the Lone Ranger and his horse. What about Trigger? Yeah, you see, you just could go on. They have left behind a legacy in movie and on television. So I want to know, who was your favourite? Not challenging, is it? Just a bit of fun, gets the grey matter going. And more importantly, did you ever get one of the miniatures or the dolls or the book or anything like that with it in? I've still got a ScoobyDoo to this day. He's still in the box. Well, you can see him, and if you touch his paw, he does say a few words. Well, he would if I could afford the battery. You get the picture. Just a bit of fun. Do let me know. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.